Saturday night baseball from Bosse Field. The Evansville Otters look to take Game 2 against the Windy City ThunderBolts, but they match up with the best pitcher in the Frontier League West. It'll be a great matchup of baseball on a Saturday night from Evansville. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the River City and historic Bosse Field. I'm Griffin Epstein alongside Daunhauer on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. The Otters, with their longest losing streak of the season to start the week, but they ended it last night in offensive style. A 9-5 victory for the Otters. They used 15 hits, 3 home runs, and 6 doubles to overwhelm the ThunderBolts and give the Otters their first win of the week. Evansville now looks to win the first 2 games of a series for the first time all the way since May with a victory over Windy City. But Lucas, last night, a much-needed offensive performance for the Otters to get off the schneid.
That's right, and all of that offensive explosion came off of a left-handed pitcher, something that the Otters have struggled to do this year, but we saw Andy McCulley mix the lineup up a little bit. He moved Quiggle into the leadoff hole. Noah Myers, your normal leadoff hitter, batted 8th, and those two both had success at the plate. And then the new faces at Bosse Field, John Dyer and Brody Tanksley, 5 hits between the two of them. It was an offensive explosion, and Otters looking to back that up with another performance here tonight against, like you said, a really strong pitcher.
So Windy City, their starting lineup tonight is they're 21 and 28. The Thunderbolts need a win tonight to avoid dropping their second straight series this week. Paul Kumalos leads off and plays right field. Jake Boone will bat second and play second base. Junior Martina bats third and plays third base. Peyton Isaacson, hottest hitter right now in this Thunderbolt lineup, in the cleanup spot and DHing. Great news today for the Thunderbolts. Brent Spillane out with an injury the last few weeks. Back in the starting lineup. He bats fifth and plays center field. Mikey Yonamine bats sixth and plays first base. Dan Robinson batting seventh and playing left. Matt Morgan catching and batting eighth. And Troy Viola, the former Otter, traded away to Windy City, playing shortstop and rounding out the Thunderbolt lineup. As we mentioned, Garrett Chrisman, the righty, starting for the Thunderbolts. He has the second best ERA of any starting pitcher in the Frontier League. On the other side for Evansville, 27 and 21, the Otters' first win of the week yesterday. Noah Myers, after batting 8th yesterday, back in the starting lineup and playing left field for Evansville. Ethan Skinner bats second and plays second base. Kona Quiggle bats third and plays center field. Jeffrey Baez in the cleanup spot and playing right field. Yomar Reyes bats fifth and plays third base. Dakota Phillips moved back in the lineup. He bats sixth and plays first base. Bottom 3 in the lineup, George Khalil batting seventh and playing shortstop. Jake Green, the catcher, batting eighth. And Brian Rosario back in the starting lineup, rounding out the order and DHing. The righty Austin Gossman will go tonight for the Otters, coming off an excellent start last Sunday against Joliet. The third-year Otter Gossman, a 4.43 ERA, 4-2 in 8 starts. Sun is peeking out from mostly cloudy skies with some chance for rain and thunderstorms today, but it's held off all day, and it's looking like a steamy July evening, but clear of rain for Saturday night baseball between the Thunderbolts and the Otters. First pitch moments away. We'll break for the national anthem and be right back. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
With the singing of our national anthem, this evening performed by Delbert Ray.
job on the national anthem tonight by Delbert Ray. Almost set for baseball this evening here from Bosse Field. Austin Gossman, the starting pitcher tonight for the Otters, to take on the Thunderbolts. Gossman, his third year as an Otter, ninth start of the season, 4-2 with a 4.34 ERA. He's been better at home this season, 3 of his 4 wins at home, but he had a big bounce-back performance in his last outing at Joliet last Sunday with 7 excellent innings, allowed just 5 hits and 2 runs, and it was really different from what we've seen most of the year by Gossman, where he struggled as he's gotten into the second and third time in the lineup. He got a lot better over the course of the game against the Slammers and started pitching some of his best baseball of the year over the last few innings in Joliet.
That's right. Just the second time this year he's gone 7 innings deep, and we've seen shades of excellence at times from Austin Gossman, a guy who's been consistently a reliable arm for the Otters over the last couple years. Just looking for a little bit more consistency, but like you said, Griffin, he's been so good at home, and big matchup here tonight with Chrisman on the other side, coming home after another deep start for him. He went 8 2/3 against the Y'all, so we've got a really good pitching matchup. 2 guys coming off of some really impressive starts.
Around him on the diamond, Jake Green catching Gossman for the 7th time this season. Dakota Phillips at first, Ethan Skinder at second, George Khalil at short, and Yomar Reyes at third base. Noah Myers in left field, Kona Quiggle in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right, with everyone back and healthy for the Otters. A pretty typical starting lineup and starting 9 around Gossman. Green and Gossman have been the pitcher-catcher battery for the most part this season when Goss is on the bump, and that pitcher-catcher battery is brought to you by The Answer Auto Repair East. You can find your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Biggest thing you're looking for tonight, Lucas, is the Otters try to win the first 2 games of a series since all the way at New Jersey the last time they did that in late May.
Yeah, I think it's the bats coming back again after a really good night last night, and saw Chrisman come off a really big performance, but the Otters got the best of him last time they saw him, so you want to jump on him early.
Paul Kumalos, lefty batter, to lead things off, and Kumalos takes a first pitch inside from Gossman. 83 degrees currently in Evansville, but it is extraordinarily muggy with thunderstorms throughout the area. The 1-0 home. Kumalos swings and grounds one through the 4-3 hole and into right field at base 6. Kumalos leads off with a base hit here in the top of the first inning. That brings up Jake Boone, the second baseman. Very muggy. Thunderstorms have stayed away pretty much all day. Had some rain and thunderstorms early this morning, but Tarp's been off the field since 9 a.m. and no rain. Had some sunshine as well, but right now heavy overcast skies and some dark clouds out in the distance. First pitch to the ready Jake Boone is outside for a ball. Wind blowing straight out to center field today, and winds at 8 miles per hour. Gossman on the right side of the rubber. Gixon throws. Swung on and driven into center field. Back is Quiggle. A few steps from the track, reaches up the glove and makes the catch. 1 away. Brings up Junior Martina, the third baseman, with 1 on and 1 out. Gossman struggled in his last start at home against Sussex County back in late June. 5 innings pitched, allowed 9 hits and 5 runs. Went on the 7-day IL after that for a little over a week, and then had the really nice bounce-back performance against Joliet. But he hasn't been as sharp all year as he was last year. First pitch to the ready Martina, inside 1-0.
That's right, just looking for a little bit more consistency, but first start back after an injury, you never know how that's going to go for a starting pitcher. Like you said, a really good sign, be able to go 7 innings deep and limit Joliet to just 5 hits. Really impressive start.
3 starts where he's allowed 4 more runs. Martinez swings and misses 1 and 1, but he's had, as he said, some great starts as well, including 3 of his 4 wins here at home. All 4 of his wins have been very impressive. 2 quality outings. Looking to quiet the Thunderbolts and give the Otters the series win here on Saturday. The 1 and 1, swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Saw a nice changeup from him there. This is a big at-bat for Gossman to go at. Martina coming off a big night, reached base 4 times last night. He's responsible for a good chunk of the Windy City RBIs throughout the year.
Gossman throws. Martina takes low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kumalos at first with 1 out here in the top of the first inning on a steamy day from Evansville. Good crowd on a Saturday night. 2-2 from Gossman. Here it is, outside and a full count. A big giveaway today, too. The first 1,000 fans got a free Heritage hat, and we got one, too.
We did. It's always a big night at Bosse Field. You see a lot of fans sporting their nice white new hats. Thing about a white hat is, though, you got to keep it clean.
Payoff is fouled off the foot of Martina. The left foot, he's hopping up and down in some pain. Can't put any pressure on the left foot. And now he's down on the grass, writhing in pain. And the athletic trainer for Windy City running out to check on Martina.
Yeah, you saw right on impact, Martina felt that one. He's got the shin and foot guard on that left foot, his lead foot as a right-handed batter, but looks like it maybe just missed the guard he was wearing. Can't tell if it's his shin or his foot, but like you said, can't put a lot of pressure on it. He's sitting on the ground now.
Ryan Skumaki, the athletic trainer for Windy City, looking at Martina. What a day it was yesterday for Martina. 3 hits. This is not a guy you want to lose. He's struggling right now to put any pressure on that left foot. And not sure he's going to be able to remain in this game.
Yeah, he was a late All-Star addition as well. He's, like I said, got 28 RBIs on the season, leads Windy City in that category. Team that doesn't necessarily put up a lot of runs, so he's a really valuable bat to them. He's walking towards the dugout now. Not a great sign if you're a Thunderbolt fan.
Martina taking off the jersey and very gingerly walking back into the dugout. And the Thunderbolts going to have to get a new batter as their manager Richie Sexton out to do some bookkeeping with home plate umpire Preston Childers.
Be interesting to see who they go with here. The pinch hitter is going to step in with a full count and a runner on, so unique situation to step into as a pinch hitter. See who they go with here.
Well, as the Otters know too, Troy Viola is very comfortable playing third base where he played at Purdue.
That's a good point.
He's at short, but that could mean maybe a double switch if Windy City wants to move some pieces around. So Austin Gossman's going to take a few warm-up pitches, and we're still waiting to see who will emerge from the Thunderbolt dugout to hit for Gossman. There's 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Martina fouling one off his foot and not able to put any pressure on his left foot. He's coming out of the game, and coming into the game is Carson Matthews, the righty infielder.
That's right, Matthews, a guy coming out of the Los Angeles Angels organization, played single-A ball with them last year, hitting just 189 though. Like I said, tough situation to step into, full count right here.
Righty batter, payoff pitch coming from Gossman. Sizes shoulders, delivers, it's high, no, it's strike 3 called. The letters throw down to second, and out is Kumalos. Wow. Pitch called a strike at the top of the zone, and a great throw by Green down to second to throw out Kumalos. And just like that, the pitch right after the injury, a inning-ending strikeout and throwout to essentially function as a double play. So that retires the start in the top of the first. We'll be right back. No score on the Otters Digital Network.
Across that finish line first is going to be our winner while holding those Taroni's pizza boxes, delivering those pizzas. Racers on your mark, get set, go! Very great race. Very close race. The hat has come off for Landon. Oh! Crash and burn! Looks like Brock is our winner. Those pizzas are messed up.
Back at Bosse Field for the bottom of the first inning. What a treat tonight. No score as we're going to get a look at one of the best pitchers in the Frontier League. Garrett Crispin, the righty from Noblesville, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. 9 starts on the season, a 1.97 ERA. That's the best ERA of any starting pitcher in the Frontier League West. And he's been lights out of late. 7 quality outings in his 9 starts. And he's gone at least 7 innings in his last 5 starts, all of them quality outings. This is going to be a really tough guy for the Otters to hit tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. We saw him here at Evansville earlier in the season. Like I said, Otters 6 hits, 5 runs, just 4 of them earned, but he has not turned back since that outing. Went 8 2/3 in his last start against Florence. So see how he responds.
Noah Myers will lead things off for the Otters, the Edward Jones leadoff batter. First pitch home to Myers, swung on and lofted into center field, down for a base hit. Myers giving Crispin a rude awakening back to Bosse Field with a leadoff base hit.
And Myers hitting the 8-hole last night because he tends to struggle against left-handed hitting, but really good sign. He had 2 hits last night against their starter Matthews on the mound for Windy City. Starts us off here with a really good piece of hitting there.
Brings up Ethan Skinder with 1 on and nobody out. What a day yesterday for Skinder with 2 home runs. As check over to first by Crispin, and back in safely is Myers. That start for Crispin here at Bosse Field. First game of the season between these two back in late May. As Skinder bunts at 1 and pops it up. Coming in is Yonamine, and he makes the catch. Pop-up bunt by Skinder, 1 away.
It was tough because not always the easiest to bunt a pitch up in the zone. You got to make sure you get your hands above it, and Skinder just gets under that one, drops his bat head a little bit, and not what you want to do in that situation.
We'll bring up Kona Quiggle, lefty batter. On Crispin, that outing against the Otters, he allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, and walk 4. Command was an issue. That is his most runs he's allowed in any game this season, as another pickoff throw back to Myers bounces off his back and trickles into right field. Yonamine runs after it, and Myers stays put. One on and 1 out here on the bottom of the first. Kona Quiggle at the plate. That change, by the way, with Martina hurt. I guessed it, as Quiggle fouls the first pitch down the right field line. Viola shifts over to third base from short. And Carson Matthews, pinch hitting for the hurt Martina, will step in at short.
We've made some good predictions here at Bosse Field this year, Griffin.
You've been almost Tony Romo-like at times with your predictions.
We've spoken a lot of things into existence.
And in Game 50 of Frontier League Baseball, I'm starting to learn, as Quiggle lofts one into left field. A few steps back for Robinson, he's under it, and makes the grab, 2 away. So 2 down, and after the leadoff base hit by Myers, 2 quick outs for the Otters, brings up Jeffrey Baez. Otters mounted 15 hits yesterday. That was tied for the second most in any game all year, and it was really about extra base hits again. 9 of their 15 hits were extra base hits, 3 home runs, and 6 doubles. 2 outs, 1 on for the ready Baez. Crispin delivers. Baez fouls it away.
That's right. Baez contributed his fair share, home run and a triple. He was part of that back-to-back pair of home runs with Ethan Skinder. He took some big cuts, and we see one there to start off this at-bat.
Another step off by Crispin, and check back on Myers, who dives back in under the pickoff throw.
Tell you, Crispin really concerned about Noah Myers over there, paying him a lot of attention.
Myers second on the Otters in stolen bases. Pitch home to Baez, sails high. 1-1. Noah 17 for 18 stealing bags this year. Matt Morgan, the catcher, behind the plate today for the second straight day. Struggled yesterday behind the plate as pitch sails low, 2-1. Pitch home, Baez pops it up high in the air in right center field. Drifting over is Spillane in center. A few more steps to his right, he's there for the grab. and the third out of the inning. So 3 pop-ups for the Otters after the leadoff base hit by Myers. We're scoreless through 1 on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Best seats in the house. Our lucky winner will get to spend the rest of the game in the best seats in the house. I say congratulations to Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson is our winner because I'm sure, like all of you, perhaps maybe ready for college football. And Keith Jackson is there. Those will broadcast on ABC. So we're going to give it to Keith Jackson in that spirit. Enjoy the best seats in the house and the view of the Heritage Video Board and Honor Vision.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers.
15, Peyton Isaacson.
1 inning complete. The middle game of the series between the Thunderbolts and the Otters. Final series before the All-Star break for these 2 division foes. Scoreless first. Austin Gossman for the Otters back on the bump to work the top of the second. First pitch home to Peyton Isaacson. Popped up down the left field line. Myers giving it a look, but it will bounce along the dirt and foul. One hit apiece, both leadoff base hits for Windy City and Evansville in the top of the first, but neither could do anything after. Gossman, the 5'10", 190-pound righty, delivers. Isaacson fouls one away, 0-2.
Isaacson had a big day at the plate yesterday. 3 RBIs. Just making solid contact every at-bat. Had a lot of confidence.
Hitting over 300 now, 304 batting average on the year to lead the Thunderbolts. 0-2, beautiful pitch, just missed low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Isaacson has really bloomed of late for the T-Bolts, leading them in batting average, hits, doubles. At 3 RBI, 3 a day yesterday. 1-2, swung on and driven into center field, a base hit. 4th hit of the weekend for Peyton Isaacson. He stays hot.
Yeah, like I said, guy who just has a ton of confidence. He finally got someone hitting over 300 in the stat column for the Thunderbolts. And see there, goes down, gets a pitch low in the zone. And just a guy who's got a lot of swagger at the plate as of late.
So 1 on and nobody out in the top of the second. And it brings up Brent Spillane. First pitch to Spillane is popped up into shallow center. Coming in is Quiggle to make the grab. 1 away. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Barge Professional brand products. Pick them up in any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. 1 away with Isaacson at first. And the first pitch to Yona Mine hits him on the back of the helmet. Pitch that slipped out of the hand of Gossman and bounced off the back of the helmet of Yona Mine. He appears to be okay, and he'll go down to first. Now 2 on with 1 out.
Batting 7 in left field, 10, Deanna Robinson.
So it brings up Dan Robinson with 2 on and 1 out. And some early trouble for Gossman to get out of, similar to his last start against Joliet. Gossman peeking back at second and delivers. Inside to Robinson, 1-0. Gossman, first 2 innings against the Slammers, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs, but then was lights out after that through his last 5 innings of work, retired 15 of his last 17 batters faced. 1-0. Taken low, 2 balls and no strikes to Robinson. Isaacson at second, Yonamine at first with 1 out in the top of the second, no score. Two-0, breaking ball on the outer third for a strike, 2-1.
It was a big day all around, 10 hits for the Thunderbolts, but no hits came out of the bottom 3 in the order. Same bottom 3 we see today, just with Robinson and Morgan flip-flopped, looking to be productive at the bottom half of the order.
2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. Heavy dose of breaking balls for Gossman. He has 5 different pitches: fastball, sinker, cutter, slider, and changeup. Tops out at 90 miles per hour. Not a super fast thrower at just 5'10", but very crafty and versatile. 2-2. Low and in the dirt. Good stop by Green and a full count. So big pitch here for Gossman with 2 on and 1 out. And a payoff coming to Dan Robinson. Robinson just .263 batting average, but he does lead the Thunderbolts in walks with 25. Black glove for Gossman, looking in to Green, sets just above the belt, peeks back at second. On the right side of the rubber, he winds and throws. Missing outside for ball 4. Robinson, his 26th walk of the season, loads the bases for the Thunderbolts in the top of the second.
And you saw the reaction of displeasure from Gossman, because it was a very similar pitch that he struck Carson Matthews on to end the inning in the first. Just a pitch up and away, doesn't get the call there.
Bases loaded for the catcher, Matt Morgan. First pitch to the righty, swing and a miss, 0-1. Morgan hitting just .179 on the year, though he does have 4 home runs. Isaacson at third, Yonamine at second, Robinson at first. 0-1 delivery, swing and a miss again, 0-2.
Really good fastball he ran in there. See if he goes straight to that breaking ball that's been working well for a strikeout pitch here. Guesses he wouldn't waste any more pitches here with bases loaded.
Gossman winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikes with the bases loaded for Gossman. Retires Morgan. What a big strikeout. 2 away.
Yeah, it took a little bit off of it and just goes with off speed rather than a breaking ball. Fools Morgan, really messed his timing up, and chance to get out of a jam here.
Now it's the former Otter, Troy Viola, with the bases still loaded in 2 outs in the top of the second, no score. Gossman throws and pitch well outside. Good stop by Green in the left-handed batter's box.
Viola 0 for 4 in his homecoming yesterday. Maybe a little bit of a sour taste in his mouth, and if you were looking for a big opportunity, well, here it is. Bases loaded, 2 outs, chance to spark a early lead for your Thunderbolts squad.
Looking for a little revenge this weekend. Did make a couple good plays at shortstop. 1-0 is chopped left side. Over is Khalil to glove it. Double clutch throw to third, and it bounces out of his hand and rolls onto the turf. Everyone's safe. Isaacson scores. It's 1-0 Windy City. Go down as a fielder's choice. Khalil was just trying to get the force out at third, and the hesitation cost him.
It was pretty good awareness. Khalil working over to his backhand to know that he had a force at any base, and the play at third could have been there, but like you said, Griffin, just couldn't quite get the ball out of his glove and Troy Viola with a little RBI there.
Back to the top of the order on Koumelos. First pitch inside and Green stops.
Tell you, Green's been working hard this inning. That's the third ball that he has made a pretty difficult block look routine, and they've all been with runners on in scoring position.
Bases loaded and 2 outs. 1 run across in the top of the second for Windy City to take the lead. They led just once briefly yesterday, 4-3 in the top of the 6th. 1-0. Check swing on a ball inside. Green throw down to first, and back in safely is Viola. Koumelos win around, so 1-1. A base hit, a hit batter, a walk, and a fielder's choice. Plating 1 here for the Thunderbolts in the top of the second. Koumelos had a base hit, back to lead off the first. 1-1. Line down the right field line, off the glove of Phillips, and down the right field line. 2 runs will score for Windy City. 3-0 T-Bolts. Ruled a base hit. Phillips had it, and it bounced off the top of his glove and ended up rolling all the way into the Otters bullpen. Back-to-back plays the Otters fielders thought they had, and all of a sudden the Thunderbolts put 3 up in the top of the second.
Yeah, definitely one Dakota Phillips would like to have back. Looked like he had a good read on it, but ball just tails away from him at the last second, plays off his glove. But Paul Koumelos has hit the ball very hard in both series here at Bosse Field, and that'll bring out Max Peterson for an early mound visit.
Chatting with Austin Gossman and the rest of the Otters infield. Second hit of the inning and the first extra base hit of the day for Windy City. Koumelos 2 for 2 now. Gossman still looking for the last out here of the second. Windy City put 3 on the board in the 6th yesterday to briefly take a lead, and they found another 3-run inning here in the second against Gossman and the Otters.
Mentioned yesterday the pair of St. Leo graduates that Windy City has in their lineup, Paul Koumelos and Peyton Isaacson. They're having quite the series so far. Isaacson 3 RBIs yesterday, already a base hit today, and Koumelos gets 2 RBIs of his own, both of them coming from a strong D2 program in Florida.
So brings up Jake Boone with the bases loaded in the meeting over. Gossman looking for the last out with runners at second and third. First pitch home outside, 1-0. Viola at third and Koumelos at second. 3 across for the Thunderbolts in the top of the second to take a 3-0 lead as they try to even up this series at a game apiece. 1-0. Popped up high in the air to left field. Myers drifting back. A few steps from the track and making a jogging grab for the third out. 3 runs come across for the Thunderbolts. A key 2 RBI double by Koumelos caps the inning. It's 3-0 Windy City. Let's go to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network.
You pass the balls throughout yourselves, and when that music stops, everyone 18 or older holding the ball will win a $30 Hoosier Lottery prize pack. Zing, let's get it. All right, pass them around.
We're going to switch to another song so it's louder. Does that work?
You're in control, Zing.
Here's a better song, just for you playing.
Makes me feel pretty good. Feel even better if I got to hold on to a Hoosier Lottery beach ball at the end of this, but they won't give it to me. Keep passing it. Keep going. All right, hold on to that ball. If you got it, congratulations from the Hoosier Lottery and the Evansville Otters. And Otter staff will tell you how to claim your prize. Remember, you must be 18 or older to play and win, and please play responsibly.
We have a couple of birthdays here. I'd like to say a happy birthday to Rick and Deb. Rick's birthday is July 9th. Deb is celebrating July 8th. Happy birthday. And thanks for are spinning. And with the Evansville Otters, their very first Otters
Bottom of the
game
second
of
inning for Bosse Field. 3-0 lead for Windy City over Evansville. ThunderBolts getting off to a great start, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They used 2 hits, a hit batter, a walk, and a fielder's choice to plate 3 in the top of the second inning. Omar Reyes will lead off in the bottom of the second for the Otters. Evansville's going to have to try to figure out the best pitcher in the Frontier League West in terms of ERA, as Reyes takes the first pitch strike on the inner third. 1.97 ERA for Chrisman. Pitch sales outside 1-1. Only pitcher in the East with Quebec has a better ERA in the Frontier League. Swing and a miss by Reyes, 1-2. Skies remaining overcast and quite gray, hoping that all thunderstorms and rain stay away. Very, very muggy day. Thick heat as Reyes fouls one away, 1-2.
Yeah, we've had a lot of humidity as of late. Some storms missed Evansville here today.
1-2 sails high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you, the Windy City infield is playing very deep and very spread out for Jomar Reyes here.
2-2 is fouled away again. Reyes stays alive.
Makes it look like there's some pretty big holes, but that depth gives the infield some chances to make plays on hard hit balls deep into the holes of the infield.
Chrisman throws. Reyes chops one into right field. Back is Spillane, and the ball gets past him and bouncing all the way to the wall. Reyes rounds second with a stand-up double. So much power in his bat. You just stick the bat out, and he drives one out to right center.
Yeah, Reyes has had some pop in his bat lately, and saw him maybe just over swinging a little bit yesterday. He was pulling that shoulder out. You can tell he made an adjustment here today, though, because he sat back on that breaking ball, let it come to him, took it the other way, went with the pitch, and power takes care of itself when you're Jomar Reyes.
14th double of the season for Reyes. It brings up Dakota Phillips with nobody out. 3-0 lead for Windy City. Otters trying to start a comeback. First pitch to Phillips, sails high, 1-0. Reyes' 14th double of the season. 2 hits yesterday and already 1 today. Ball goes through the legs of the catcher Morgan and all the way back to the backstop, and Reyes down to third. I'm surprised Matt Morgan at getting a second straight day catching for Windy City. It's certainly not all been on him, but a lot of pass balls and wild pitches yesterday. It was a challenging day certainly for him at the plate.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle. I saw him just having a hard time getting his chest behind those breaking balls, and there's another one in the dirt that gives the Otters a pretty good chance to get on the board here.
2-0 to Phillips. Swung on and hit hard into right field. Coming in Koumalos to make the catch. Reyes will tag from third. The throw home is late, and Reyes scores standing up for the first run of the game for Evansville. It's 3-1.
And just there, we saw yesterday a few times where some of those wild pitches, Griffin, allowed the Otters to move runners over to third or into scoring position, and it ended up being some pretty key runs. There's another one right there that you kind of gift the Otters, give them a chance for a sac fly.
Brings up George Khalil. Khalil takes the first pitch strike at the knees. Otters have only won 4 games all season. Make it now 5 with the win yesterday when trailing, as Khalil swings and grounds one to third. Glove by Viola. Throw across the diamond in time. Pretty play by Troy Viola. Back at his customary third base position.
Yeah, you mentioned the pair of flashy plays he had in the 6th spot yesterday. He slides over to third base after the Junior Martina injury and shows us he still knows a thing or two at the hot corner.
Brings up Jake Green with 2 outs, and the base is empty. 3-1 lead for Windy City. Green adjusting his elbow protector on his left arm. Now he's ready to go in the batter's box and takes low, 1-0. So the Otters coming from behind to win yesterday. Granted, they trailed by just 1 run in the bottom of the 6th inning and quickly got the lead back as Green takes a strike 1-1. But it was the Otters' first time winning a game in which they had trailed in nearly a month. June 15th against Windy City the last time. Green hammers one down the right field line and foul. 1-2. Otters have only won 5 games all year when they've trailed at any point, and they haven't won a single game when trailing in the 7th inning or later. 1-2. Green fouls it away again right side.
It's been a struggle to rally from behind for the Otters, but yesterday a good game. Both teams showed no quit.
Chrisman working quickly. Green fouls his 1-2 away behind home plate. Morgan looking up into the dugout and almost running into the Otters bat boy. It bounces off the roof.
Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Otters, if they come back to win tonight, it'd be their biggest comeback win of the season. 2 runs, their largest comeback win. That was in also a victory over the Thunderbolts back here at Bosse. Green takes high, 2-2.
Tell you, we've had some really good battles between these two teams this year. It's provided some entertaining ball games.
2-2 pitch is inside and a full count. A lot of close games. The 2 walk-offs, 3 walk-offs in the series. 2 at Ozinga Field, 1 here at Bosse. The 3-2 is lined into left field right, and Robinson reaches up the glove and makes the snag for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters get 1 back in the bottom of the 2nd. A double by Reyes. Moves to 3rd on a wild pitch, scores on a sac fly. It's 3-1 Thunderbolts through 2 on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters fans, we're tossing some fish tonight with a 10-fish fish toss featuring Caden, OJ, Tucker, and Trevor. Blue versus orange. All we gotta do is fill up those baskets with the most fish, and whichever team can do that with the most fish at the end of it will be our winning team. All right, toss in 3, 2, 1, go. Looking good so far for both teams. Professionals out here. 3 for 3 for both teams. Give it up for Caden, OJ, Tucker, and Trevor with a 10-fish fish toss. Back to you, Zane.
Thank you, Clay. Saying hello to our friends from Heritage at the ballpark sponsoring our game tonight. And thanks to them, 1,000 fans taking home fancy looking hats. Heritage, proud partner. Evansville Otters baseball, of course, the Heritage video board too. Say hello to Matthew Draper and his group in section 16. Landon, you saw him throw at first pitch earlier, and he's in section 19, celebrating birthday number 12. Happy birthday to Landon Freeman. Tech is in right field, a group of 100. Great to have you with us. The Corona Extra Patio Deck has all 10 decks filled with our friends from Heritage. Great to have all of you with us here at the ballpark on a beautiful Saturday night in Evansville, Indiana. Lead off, shortstop, 19, Carson Matthews.
2 innings complete from Bosse Field. 3-1 lead for Windy City over Evansville. Carson Matthews leads proceedings off for the T-Bolts. Gossman throws. Matthews chops it foul. Matthews stepping in for Junior Martina, who fouled a ball off his foot back in the 1st inning and could not continue. Certainly a big blow for the Thunderbolts, their all-star 3rd baseman, as the 0-1's a strike at the knees, 0-2. And Martina, a big part of the Thunderbolts offense yesterday with 3 hits.
Yeah, and Matthews stepped into a really tough situation there. Full count, questionable call up in the zone to get rung up on.
0-2 outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gossman trying to repeat things at Joliet. A lot of runners on in the first 2 innings and then settling in near the 2nd time through the lineup. Matthews chops one off the middle. Softly hit, he stumbles and falls racing down the line. Khalil picks it up and has plenty of time now to throw to first. And Matthews doesn't even make it to first base. Wow, he just fell down running down the first base line. Only made it a few strides out of the batter's box. It was going to be a close play on a softly hit ball. Khalil looked up and all of a sudden realized he had all day to Field and step around the second base bag and make the throw.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough play. You're right. That ball bounced awkwardly off the mound, was kind of died in the middle of the infield behind the mound.
Peyton Isaacson, lefty, takes the first pitch strike. So 1 out in the top of the third. 3-1 Windy City leads. Otters took the opener yesterday in a surprisingly high-octane game. 9-5 victory. Combined 25 hits between the two sides. Isaacson takes inside 1-1. Two of the better pitching staffs in the league. The Otters leading the league in ERA and runs allowed. Windy City, 6th best ERA in the league, and certainly one of the better starting rotations in the Frontier League. Bullpen has struggled a little bit more. 1-1 home. Inside and it hit Isaacson, and he's down in a heap. Does a somersault in some pain and holding his right knee and really gimpily trying to walk down to first base.
Yeah, you think about the places you're okay with getting hit, your thigh, your back, shoulder, maybe even some decent places to get hit, but that one looked like it hit him just square on the knee, and he is still trying to walk that off behind first base, a really tender area to take a blow from a baseball.
And a busy day already for Ryan Scumaci, the athletic trainer for Windy City, running over to first base to check on Isaacson. He's also been one of the better hitters. You're right about the knee, though. You get hit in a place that has a little more fat on the body. It's going to cushion the ball, but that kneecap, there's not really any skin. It's just right off the muscle.
Yeah, directly off any joint is going to provide a lot of pain. You know, a lot of batters in the modern game wear an elbow guard, but wearing something on your knee in a similar sense isn't really possible. You got to have quite a bit of flexion there, and tried to turn away, not able to avoid that ball hitting off his front knee.
Second at batter by Gossman. 1 out, 1 on, and Brent Spillane, the batter, takes outside 1-0. Popped up right side and out of play. Spillane was really the star hitter of this Windy City lineup through the first month and a half, but got hit in the hand a couple weeks back, and he's played just 2 games since June 25th. Making a start tonight. His first at bat since a road trip at Quebec. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Certainly a guy that Windy City's grateful to have back in the lineup. Was hitting over 300 through much of the early portion of the season. And a guy with tons of accolades. Was Big Ten Player of the Year back in 2018 at University of Illinois. 2-1 to the righty. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, and an offense that has just lacked consistency. Certainly welcoming sight to see him back in the lineup. Flew out in the second inning, looking to get a quality at bat here, 2-2 with a runner on.
Goss the high set, flutters the glove, nods, kicks and throws, swing and a miss. Breaking ball strikes out Spillane, 2 away.
Really good pitch there. You see Gossman going back to the breaking ball as his strikeout pitch, and that one broke later than most that we see out of the hand of Goss, and just falls off the table at the last second.
1 on and 2 outs brings up Mikey Yonamine. 3-1 lead for the Thunderbolts in the top of the third. Gossman throws. Yonamine chops it foul. And the benefit for Gossman, he's got all these different looks with the breaking ball. You have a sinker that's going to tumble down, a cutter that is going to kind of at the last moment cut to either the right or the left. You've got a slider that will have more bite than the cutter. And you've got a changeup as well that is going to have different movement than a sinker. So you're seeing a lot of different pitches moving in different directions as the batter. A 1, this is low, 1-1.
It's a good point. He's got a lot of off-speed options in addition to his breaking ball, and they all have a little bit of a different rotation. Keeps the hitters guessing if he's able to dial all those pitches in.
1-1. Popped up right side and out of play. 1-2. Not going to see any big curveball. You're not going to see a big, heavy fastball from Gausman. It's not flashy in any way. But it is best very steady. Led the Otters in starts, innings pitched, wins, and strikeouts last year. 8-6 last year with a 3.83 ERA and one of the more consistent pitchers on the Otters staff. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Yonamine chases a pitch down in the dirt. Forced strikeout for Gausman on the day. He's completed 3. 3-1. Windy City leads on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters are back tomorrow at Dawn Days of Summer. Enjoy $2 hot dogs and bring your four-legged friends. Tickets for the series finale and the finale of the first half of the regular season in Frontier League play. Still available at EvansvilleOtters.com or by calling 812-435-8686. TNG Pest Control offers many options to eliminate termites around your home and business, as well as full wildlife control services, including preventative essential oil and repellent options. Check them out on their website at tgpestcontrol.com. Batting ninth, designated hitter number 12, Brian Rosario.
Bottom of the third inning from Bosse Field. 3-1 lead for the Thunderbolts over the Otters. The sun is peeking out behind the clouds. Otters looking for a comeback win to take their first 2 games of the series for a first time in a series since May. Rosario takes the first pitch strike. Crispin, a really quick worker inside, and it hit Rosario. It nicked him on the thigh, and the Otters continuing to lead the league in hit pitches. Second straight day they've been hit by one.
And we saw Isaacson take pretty tough pitch off his knee last inning for the Thunderbolts. Rosario with a little more of an ideal way to get on base. That one looked like it just grazed his pant leg. But the Otters will take a base runner down 2 here in the third.
72nd time the Otters have been hit in 49 games. Noah Myers, the lefty batter, as a check back to Rosario. He steps back on the back. Rosie with 32 stolen bases on the season to lead the Frontier League. But he has just 2 stolen bags over his last 9. He has a 3-stride lead at first, takes off, pitch outside, good throw down to second. Rosario is out. Perfect pitch and perfect throw. A fastball up allowed Morgan to quickly throw down to second and throw out Rosario. The 4th time this season he's been, or 5th time make it this season, he's been thrown out.
Yeah, and Crispin has been well aware of who provides a good chunk of the stolen bases for the Otters.
Myers takes a strike, 1-1.
Saw him check on Myers 3 different times when he reached base in the first. Checks on Rosario once there.
Myers fouls it away, 1-2.
I think that caused Rosario to take a half step or a step off of his lead, and then a really good pitch out, well executed play. Got to credit Matt Morgan, put that one on a dot to second and erases that base runner.
Fire home outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the thing that really stands out from Crispin that's different from when we saw him a couple months ago, he is working so quickly. 2-2, Myers fouls it away.
He is, and we've seen a handful of starters, especially in the Frontier League, who have made adjustments throughout the year in accordance with the pitch clock.
2-2, falls low, and a full count to Noah Myers.
We have a lot of nights now where we see guys just working extremely fast, so the pitch clock's not even a factor for them.
Comes the payoff. Myers fouls it off the screen.
You know, Matthews last night was on the rubber before the pitch clock started. You see Crispin doing the same.
Another pitch home, swing and a miss. Myers strikes out on a fastball up, 2 away in the third. That's the first strikeout of the game for Garrett Crispin.
Second baseman, number 1.
2 outs, base is empty. It brings up Ethan Skinder. Cool sight here at Bosse with the sun peeking out, and behind center field some nearly black clouds, extremely dark, carrying thunderstorms as Skinder checks his swing and fouls one off the top of the bat. So the sun contrasting with some extremely dark clouds on this muggy Saturday night. 0-1, misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, we've had a really peculiar weather day. We were projected to have a lot of storms, many of them missed.
1-1, Skinder fouls away.
Went just north of Evansville, but we've had a lot of dark skies, a few scattered showers, and then occasionally the sun will just peek out as we're seeing now.
I thought I was going to have to push the tarp on and off the field like 5 times today, and all we had to do was take it off in the morning, so no complaints here. Crispin fires. Skinder pokes one hopping in front of the first baseman, Yonamine, who picks it up and steps on the first base bag. Skinder, I don't know if he didn't read the ball or what, it was not out of the batter's box until Yonamine picked up the baseball. So after Rosario thrown out, Crispin faces the minimum in the third. We're through 3. 3-1, Windy City leads on the Otters Digital Network.
Whoever gets the farthest pig will be our winner. But of course, with this game, we all win. Genevieve up first. Pull that thing back. That's a slippery, heavy pig. All right. Lucian's up next with a cool Spider-Man hoodie. Those are some heavy pigs tonight. Well, we've got Genevieve as our winner, but give it up for Genevieve and Lucian with the Hickory Pit Stop Flying Pigs. Back to you, Jay.
Left fielder, 10, Dan Robinson.
Dan Robinson leads off the top of the 4th inning for Windy City. 3-1 lead for the Thunderbolts over the Otters. Evansville is trailed by as much as 3 today, trying to complete a rare big come from behind. Not something the Otters have been able to do much this year. Gossman out to work the top of the 4th. Dan Robinson takes the first pitch low, 1-0. Bottom 3 in the lineup for the T-Bolts. Robinson takes another pitch low, 2-0. Just felt like the win, though, yesterday for the Otters was really the low point of the Otters season, the loss at Lake Erie. It was kind of the first time all year. It just felt like they really needed a win. 2-0 pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, 2-1. And it felt so huge just to do that and avoid some catastrophic losing streak like we've seen a lot of teams happen to them in the Frontier League this year. Gossman sides the shoulders and delivers outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, one of the reasons we've seen so much parity in the Frontier League is, like you said, teams will go on losing streaks and then eventually find their ways again, and it seems to have happened to everyone. But a really hard battled game last night.
3-1 is ripped down the right field line. A fair ball over the, no, a foul ball just to the right of the first base back. That just missed. Robinson hit a shot, so another payoff pitch. You look at 2 teams right now in the Frontier League West. Florence is just falling apart. They've lost 9 in a row, and Joliet has lost 5 in a row. Another payoff. Popped up left side. Myers racing over at the foul line. It bounces in front of him, a fair ball. Robinson has a bloop base hit down the left field line to lead off the 4th.
Yeah, I mentioned needing some production out of the bottom 3 in this lineup, and Robinson has reached base twice. That one just kind of flared off his bat and just kept tailing away from Noah Myers out and left. Not really a whole lot of a chance to make a play on that ball.
Pitch home to Matt Morgan is chopped off the end of the bat. Picked up by Green, but it's foul. Calm down, everyone. Jake Green, 110% all the time. I'm not even sure he hears the umpire when he says foul.
It's a close play. The ball bounced, just kind of hung over a home plate, which would have caused it to be fair, but I think it did tail behind at the last second. Myers, quick thinking, went 2 there because Morgan hadn't left the batter's box yet. Would have been a chance for a double play.
Gossman throws, swing and a miss. Morgan struck out on 3 pitches his first time up to the plate. Gossman trying for some deja vu here in the top of the 4th. Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss. Deja vu indeed. Morgan strikes out on 3 pitches for the 2nd straight at bat.
It looked like either the cutter or the sinker there from Gossman. Really good off-speed pitch that fools Morgan and just falls out of the zone at the last second. And Austin Gossman flashing that repertoire of pitches that he has in his arsenal.
1 away. Robinson at first brings up Troy Viola, the shortstop. First pitch to Troy, swing and a miss. 0-1.
There's another good cutter, falls off the plate. He's finding his groove now.
3 coming across, all in the 2nd for Windy City. A couple plays that Otters fielders would like back. All 3 scoring with 2 outs. 0-1, chopped off the end of the bat. 0-2. Khalil had the ball in his glove and with the bases loaded, and all he needed to do was make a forced throw to third for the force out to end the inning, but couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and it just bounced away from him. And then Koumelos lined one hard down the right field line, and it bounced off the glove of the first baseman Phillips and fair. 0-2, outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Saw a really good cutter and a sinker to start off this at-bat. He tries to get Viola to chase a fastball out of the zone. We'll see if he goes to the breaking ball here to either get a strikeout or a potential double play ground ball.
Gossman fires. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gossman on the right side of the rubber, delivers. Swung on and ripped into left field, through for a base hit. Troy Viola has his first hit back at Bosse Field as a Thunderbolt.
Had 2 good at-bats from Viola today. He had that RBI fielder's choice in the 2nd, and then runs deep into an at-bat there, shows some patience after going down 0-2, and just sits back on a ball that he puts really solid contact on out in front of the plate.
Paul Koumelos in the top of the order now up. What a chance here for Windy City. Koumelos already 2 hits today with 2 on and 1 out. Bottom of the lineup producing for the T-Bolts. This time is called by Preston Childers. Gossman already at 63 pitches here in the top of the 4th inning. Trying to keep the lead at just 2. Gossman throws inside, 1-0 to Koumalos.
Yeah, pitch count starting to climb its way up, and Gossman would love to throw a double play ball here. Wind picking up, it's now blowing out to right field. Looks like it just now settled back down, but
swirling winds as the 1-0 on the outside corner, 1-1. The radars continue to look friendly, but boy, do the clouds out past center field look anything but.
It is swirling winds. We've had a few of them make their way into the press box here. Some really warm gusts.
Gossman delivers outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Koumalos. Windy City's been hit twice, taken a walk, and worked 5 hits today. Mustered 10 hits yesterday, but not enough in a 9-5 Otters victory. Two and 1 is fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is a much needed out if you're Austin Gossman. Paul Koumalos, 2 for 2 on the day already with 2 RBIs. Big opportunity for the Thunderbolts. We've talked about the last 2 days. 3rd time around in the order. We'll see if Gossman can bear down and go to work.
Two and 2 pitch. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Koumalos win around. Nasty breaking ball from Gossman and a big 5th strikeout of the game for the righty.
Yeah, a much needed strikeout and showing the diversity of his pitch repertoire once again. Chance to get out of this inning unscathed.
6 strikeouts now for Gossman, tied for his 2nd most of the year. Jake Boone, the batter, swinging away and fouling one down the right field line. 2 on, 2 out, now in the top of the 4th. 3-1 Windy City leads. Gossman's really used the strikeout a lot today. It wasn't something he used in mass in his last start against Joliet. A lot of fly-out outs in that game. A 1 popped up and out of play, 0-2.
Yeah, that's a good point, Griffin. I think Gossman has realized Windy City making a lot of solid contact in this series so far, and normally a guy who just pitches to contact lets his players behind him make a play, but he's kind of changed his approach here today and starting to find a little bit of a groove.
Strike away from escaping the jam. Gossman peeks back at second, delivers home. Swung on and lofted into left field, 1-hopping in front of Myers. Robinson hustling around from second. The throw home is not in time. RBI base hit for Jake Boone extends the lead for Windy City to 4-1 in the top of the 4th.
Carson Matthews.
Yeah, and there's just some more really solid contact. Gossman was ahead in that count. Think that pitch caught just a little bit more of the zone than he intended, but Thunderbolt bats stay hot if you leave pitches over the plate.
So 1 scores here in the top of the 4th to extend the lead to 3. 2 on and 2 out now for Carson Matthews. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it right to Khalil, the shortstop. Gloves it on a knee, throws to second for the force out to retire the side. Windy City adds 1 more in the 4th. It's now 4-1 T-Bolts. This will head to the bottom of the 4th on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the Paramount Dental Smile Cam. Over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental, based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep smiling with Paramount Dental. And be sure to check out Frontier League and the Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Paramount Dental Smile Cam, our great Otters Digital Network crew. We have Riley Angel, John L. Smith, and let's give a big round of applause to May Ray, working her final honors game of the season. Before she heads off on an extended vacation, May Ray, salute to you. Oh, and Mr. Rust is here as well. We have John L. Smith working our cameras. Center fielder, number 19, Kona Quiggle.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Windy City leads 4-1 over Evansville. Kona Quiggle leads off the bottom of the fourth for the Otters. Seeing Garrett Chrisman, the top ERA guy in the Frontier League West, looking excellent so far. First pitch home to Kona Quiggle. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Starters will be announced for the All-Star game on Tuesday, with the All-Star game next Wednesday. 0-1 on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2 to Quiggle, and Kona's not too happy with the call. Talking with Preston Childers and shaking his head with a wry smile. Oh, and 2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, fastball there, but we've seen some breaking balls just hang and loop a little more than usual from Chrisman.
Quick pitch and the 1-2 swing and a miss. Quiggle strikes out. A few more words for Preston Childers.
Right fielder,
That's just
number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Garrett Chrisman gets the ball back sometimes and just throws home. It's just a quick pitch, and big reason he's kept Frontier League batters off balance all year. Pitch is low to Baez, 1-0. And another thing that makes it hard, too, as a batter, you only have 2 disengagements. So you can only make so many stops to try to slow down Chrisman's rhythm. 1-0. At the letters for a strike, 1-1 to Jeffrey.
That's a good point, Griffin. It definitely hinders a batter's ability to find a comfortable rhythm in the box, and I think a lot of pitchers are taking advantage of that.
Baez fouls one away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I was going back to the All-Star starters. I mean, Chrisman certainly has to be at the top of the list to start, potentially on his home turf at Bosse Field next Wednesday. A couple other good names that could start the game. 1-2. Lofted into center field, past the glove of the second baseman Boone. Base hit for Baez.
Baez catches a pitch a little above the zone, maybe even there, ran up and in, but he keeps his hands high with a nice level swing and stays on top of that ball.
Third hit of the game for the Otters. 1 on and 1 out, and brings up Yomar Reyes, who had a double back in the second and came around to score. Pitch home to Yomar on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. A couple other certainly good names that could be selected as one of the starters for the All-Star game. Tim Holdgraver, the Otters ace, certainly one of those guys. 0-1 is fouled away, 0-2. Holdgraver tied for the league lead with 6 wins on the year. Kobe Schlotman of Schaumburg would be another guy put up on the list. And, of course, Henry Omania was so good for Windy City the first month of the year before he got hurt. He was statistically the best pitcher in the Frontier League, but he's been out with an injury for nearly the last month now. Chrisman throws back to first, and Baez back in under the tag.
Yeah, a few really good options for the West Division, but be a really cool, special moment for Chrisman to make that start on his home turf, like you said.
Pitch home. Reyes lines one into center field. Base hit. Baez takes a big turnaround second, hesitates, now going to third. The throw is not in time, and Reyes advances to second on the throw. Baez goes an extra 90 feet, and the Otters have 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
tell you, that's the second day in a row we've seen Baez just check on the Windy City center fielder. It's Spillane today, and saw that he was taking his time and obtained an extra base. Yesterday it came on a triple as Baez was rounding second, but he just opened up another really big opportunity for the Otters here.
Big spot for the Otters RBI leader Dakota Phillips, lefty batter. Crispin throws a strike on a breaking ball to Phillips. Baez at third, Reyes at second with one out in the bottom of the fourth. The Otters trailing 4-1. A 1. Breaking ball again on the outside corner for a strike, going 2. Back-to-back curveballs in almost the exact same spot, and Phillips didn't like the call on either of them.
Yeah, Baez and Reyes both hit very similar pitches up, probably above the zone a little bit. Both looked like fastballs. And Crispin staying clear of that this at-bat.
0-2, sails outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters with 2 runners on for the first time all day. Crispin throws. Popped up on the infield by Phillips. Under it is Viola, and he makes the grab. 2 away.
Phillips had that sac fly in the second inning that was obviously a really productive out. Looked like he was trying to do something similar there with 2 strikes on him and just lift a ball into the outfield, but Crispin goes back to the breaking ball and just gets Phillips to drop that bat head a little more than he would have liked to.
He's up George Khalil. 2 on and 2 out. First pitch home to the ready Australian, inside 1-0. Khalil was the only Otter without a hit yesterday, as 8 of 9 batters had a hit. All 9 reached. Khalil worked a walk during the game, but went 0 for 3. 1-0. Grounded right to the shortstop. Good play by Matthews off a hop. Throws to first. Stooped off the dirt by Yonamine for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters strand 2 in the bottom of the 4th on 2 hits. No runs, and trail 4-1 after 4 innings of play from Bosse Field on the Otters Digital Network.
Southwest Graphics, Evansville Otters. Have you seen under the Otter round lately? Make sure you tell them hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our fans and encourages you to visit Heritage for all your banking needs. Heritage, a proud partner, Evansville Otters baseball. Lead off for the Windy City ThunderBolts, designated hitter, 15, Peyton Isaacson.
4 innings complete from Bosse Field. Windy City leads 4-1 over Evansville tonight as Austin Gossman returns to the mound for the 5th inning of work. He will face Peyton Isaacson, the cleanup batter lefty, to start off the 5th. Gossman throws. Isaacson takes inside 1-0. 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Windy City. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors for Evansville. 3 in the second, 1 in the 4th for the T-Bolts, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Whatever it is, the Otters have really struggled in the middle game of home series. They've lost 4 in a row in the middle game of home series, even though they played very well at home, as Isaacson takes his strike 2-1. Otters are 5-3 at series at home, but the middle game has been their bugaboo. They're just 3-5 overall in home middle games. 2-1, strike at the letters, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Otters, again, have not won the first 2 games of any series since at Hinchliffe Stadium in New Jersey in late May. Gossman comes home. Chopper right side and foul.
And that could be a number of things, Griffin, but we've seen Otters obviously win a lot of series opening games and even finales. Just the concept of staying mentally locked in on back-to-back games would allow any team in the Frontier League West to take a significant lead.
Isaacson drives one into left center. Over is Baez and plays it on a hop in front of him. Isaacson has his second hit of the day. Another leadoff base hit for the Thunderbolts. How about 4 of 5 innings today? They've started with a leadoff knock.
It's a great way to set a tone, and Peyton Isaacson, through just a game and a half, already has 5 hits in this series. Goes down and gets a pitch a little below the zone, and Austin Gossman's got to be wondering what he has to do to get Peyton Isaacson out.
Brent Spillane to the plate with 1 on and nobody out. Spillane takes outside, 1-0. Some stretching in the Otters bullpen, but no one throwing yet. Gossman at 78 pitches here in the top of the 5th. One and 0 on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters starters, it's a crazy stat. I was wondering how many times did an Otters starter not made it through 5 innings this year. It's almost never happened. Took a little bit to go through every single game. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Only 8 times this season through 48 games played as an Otters starter and not made it through 5 innings.
Yeah, and the length that those starters have been able to provide is part of the reason this bullpen's been so successful. They almost know the kind of mission they're going to have every night.
2-1 is low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You don't ask a ton of innings out of them, and that bullpen's done so well with the innings they've been given.
There's never really been a time where you'd point at it and say the bullpen is taxed. Otters used 5 different pitchers last night, but most of them, none of them went significant length. 3-1, low for ball 4. Spillane works a walk, 2 on with nobody out.
First baseman, 18.
For the first time in more than 2 decades, the Frontier League All-Star Game returns to Chicago's Southland. Come to Azinga Field in Crestwood, home of the Windy City ThunderBolts, to see the best of the Frontier League in the skills competition and All-Star Game, July 11th and 12th. Visit WCThunderbolts.com for more information. 2 on, nobody out. Micah Yonamine is the batter. Gossman delivers. Yonamine takes a strike. Might be a little distracting for Gossman right now. Eva the Otter is right behind home plate. Eva doesn't typically end up there. She's being swarmed by children tonight. The 0-1 is fouled off the backstop, 0-2. I'm a little surprised Eva's out with the chance of rain, because I feel like she's kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West. If it started raining, she might crumple apart. She's a little bit older than Evan. She's Evan's great aunt.
Is that what we're going to go with?
Yes.
It's been a long debate of whether Eva and Evan are brother and sister.
Clearly not. Definitely not.
Okay.
Eva's much older.
Wait, Tommy, I thought you didn't want to go. I thought you didn't want to go. Where?
Evan is just over 21.
Is that what we're going to go with based on his Thirsty Thursday activities?
That's what I've been told. 0-2 is low. 1-2. I've been told information by the front office that Evan the Otter is in his 20s. Eva, I assume, was around pre-triplets era. Maybe Evansville Braves back in the 1950s.
So what did she do whenever the Otters weren't called the Otters?
That is a good point.
She just swam in the Ohio River.
Yeah,
I guess.
swam in the Ohio River as a young Otter. 1-2 to Yonamine is lined into right field, a base hit. Isaacson will be held at third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And some more really solid contact. See Windy City hold up Isaacson there at third. Still nobody out, no reason to take a risk. Likely a ball that he could have scored on as Baez dropped to a knee just to keep it in front of him. But Robinson will come up with bases loaded. Still nobody out, and some arms are warming in the Otters bullpen.
James Crick is getting loose. He's often the guy that comes in if needed earlier in a game for the Otters. Bases loaded, nobody out for the lefty Dan Robinson. Swings it and fouls one away. 2 hits and a walk here to load the bases in the 5th with nobody out. Thunderbolts 8 hits already today, the tune of 4 runs. A chance to break it open in the top of the 5th. Gossman dances home, bouncing in the dirt. Green stops it with his chest. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tell you, Jake Green has been dealt a pretty tough day behind home plate with Gossman throwing a lot of cutters and sinkers that find their way in the dirt, and he's responded really well. He's been a brick wall back there today.
One and one. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Isaacson at third, Spillane at second, Yonamine at first with nobody out. Otters trying to find a way to limit the damage and stay in this ball game in the top of the 5th inning. Gossman throws. Ripped down the right field line and foul. Bouncing off the chairs where the Otters bullpen would be, but everyone's standing up around James Crick, who's warming up. Thunderbolts looking to win tonight and set up a rubber match tomorrow in the final game before the All-Star break. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Robinson chasing one, falling out of the zone. 1 away. Huge strikeout for Gossman. That's his 7th German-American Bank strikeout today. Brings up Matt Morgan. This is the guy Gossman wants to face right now. Gossman has had Morgan's number, 2 strikeouts, and he struck him out on 3 pitches both times. Gossman delivers. There's the first ball to Morgan, outside 1-0.
Yeah, he's only had to throw 6 pitches to Morgan in those first 2 at-bats, and largely in part because Morgan was chasing out of the zone away, and you see Gossman try to go back to that pitch. Morgan lays off this one.
1-0. On the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 5th. Windy City leading 4-1. What an opportunity here in the top of the 5th inning. Gossman throws. Chop left side and foul.
Could use another big strikeout here. Otters middle infield also playing at double play depth, but down 3, we've mentioned how hard it's been for this club to come from behind, and the Otters do not want to let any of these runs cross the plate in just the 5th inning.
Gossman winds and throws. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch count up into the mid-90s for Gossman, who's only been over 100 pitches this season twice. Righty delivers. Low and a full count.
To be fair to Gossman, those last 2 pitches, one just out of the zone, one just below the zone, were pitches he's gotten Matt Morgan to strike out on. But credit to Morgan, made some adjustments. He's being patient, works a full count now.
Payoff pitch and nowhere to put him. 3-2, high for ball 4. Isaacson will walk home and extend the lead for Windy City to 5-1. Second walk of the inning for Gossman, and Max Peterson out to likely make a change. That'll do it for Gossman. James Crick coming into the ball game. A run across here in the 5th for Windy City. They've extended the lead to 5-1, and the base is still loaded with just 1 out. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
We have the WJPS Frontier League scoreboard update for you. Top of the 9th, Daunhauer. Top of Tri-City 10-7, bottom of the 8th. New Jersey leads Three Rivers 12-5 north of the border. Top of the 6th. And Kentucky, the New York Boulders lead the Florence Y'all 7-2, top of the 8th. Lake Erie leads Schaumburg 2-1. Bottom of the 8th. Quebec with a 7-1 advantage over Empire State. Top of the 7th, Sussex County with a 5-3 lead in Washington, Pennsylvania against the Wild Things. Bottom of the 8th, Joliet with a 3-2 lead on Gateway. It's our WJPS scoreboard update. Listen to the Otters update with yours truly Monday through Friday during the Bob and Tom show at 8:57.
Back at Bosse Field, James Crick into the ballgame for the Otters with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the 5th. 5-1 lead for Windy City. Crick, the first-year righty from Michigan and Hillsdale College. On the year, Crick, another excellent member of this Otters bullpen. 3.0 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts. He does have 18 walks. Crick, last outing over the road trip at Lake Erie, when an inning, walked 1, 2 strikeouts, and did not allow a run. Tough spot here. Bases loaded and faces Troy Viola, the ready batter. Crick fires home, and Viola takes the first pitch strike. Gossman exiting, allowing 1 here in the 5th. Spillane now at 3rd, Yonamine at 2nd, Morgan at 1st. A 1 to Viola. Swung on and grounded to Reyes. Gloves it, throws to 2nd for 1 to 1st. Double play. 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. And the Otters escape the bases loaded jam with just 1 run across. Crick shuts the door in the 5th. Halfway through baseball tonight. It's 5-1 Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
captain, Jake Green.
Windy City in command on a Saturday night from Bosse Field. The Thunderbolts lead the Otters 5-1 as we start the bottom of the 5th inning. Jake Green leads off and takes a first pitch low from Garrett Chrisman. Chrisman has been excellent, holding the Otters to just 1 run and 4 hits. As Green pops one up right side. Yonamine racing over and watching it bounce off the roof.
Yeah, and Chrisman only at 59 pitches coming into this inning. That was the 60th. He went 8 2/3 in his last outing. Guy who's certainly capable of going deep into a game.
Green rips one down the left field line. Over is Robinson. It bounces off the dirt and the wall. Green hustling to second with a double. Jake Green doesn't get to play every day for the Otters with the rotations at catcher, but continues to be an offensive force in this lineup. 19 hits in his 22nd start.
And 3 of the 5 hits today for the Otters have come on fastballs that were just elevated from Chrisman. And Baez, Reyes, and now Green responded well to those pitches.
Green at second with nobody out, and the lefty Brian Rosario. First pitch to Rosie, grounded right side, right to the first baseman Yonamine. Fields it on a hop, steps on first base for the out. Green advances to third base, 1 away, and now back to the top of the order. And the Edward Jones leadoff batter, Noah Myers.
If you're looking to just slowly chip away at a lead and fight your way back into a game, that's a really productive out from Brian Rosario. Moves the runner over to third now, gives Myers a chance to score him in a few different ways.
Chrisman fires. Lefty Myers takes inside, 1-0. Home. Myers grounds right side, bouncing off the glove of Yonamine at first and into right field. Green will score. Myers safe at first. Will be a base hit for Myers, his second of the game, and the Otters get 1 run back in the bottom of the 5th.
And there it is. Some really good hitting from Noah Myers. Knows he just has to pull a ball over to the right side of the infield and ends up putting it in a hole where he gets a base hit. The Otters starting to chip away at that lead, 5-2 now.
1 on and 1 out. The Otters' second run of the game here in the bottom of the 5th, cutting the lead to 3. Chrisman steps off, fires back to first. Myers back in safely. I think we've seen more pickoff throws from Chrisman than maybe any pitcher this year in the Frontier League.
Yeah, no doubt. He's checked on especially Myers and Rosario over there at first.
Comes home. Sails up and away to Skinder, 1-0. Chrisman, though, as you said, just 65 pitches, and his length has been his best attribute this season. His last 5 starts has gone at least 7 as Skinder fouls 1 away. I mean, you typically think 6. If you can complete 6, that's the goal for his starter. Not only has he gone 7, most of those he's gone into the 8th. Chrisman basically guaranteeing for Windy City when he starts, the Thunderbolts are in the game. What a blessing that is. 1-1. Popped up into left center. Coming in is Spillane. This ball dying fast, and it falls in front of Spillane for a hit. That ball dropped out of nowhere. Looked like it was caught up in the air, but the wind blowing in a little bit. And Spillane and myself both surprised at how close to the infield that ball fell. Blue base hit for Skinder. There's 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, it really was some weird carry on that ball. We've seen the wind change direction 3 times in 3 different directions tonight, and that ball died way more shallow than I think anyone in the ballpark thought it was gonna, and especially Dan Robinson and Spillane out there in left and center field. Otters will bring the tying run to the plate in Conequiggle.
Jarrett Wright having a conversation with Chrisman and the catcher Morgan. 2 on and 1 out. Evansville another chance here to put up a big number and get back in the ball game. They had a great opportunity in the 4th. Runners at second and third with just one out, but could not score. Here, runners at first and second and one out in the heart of the lineup. The lefty Kona Quiggle. He's 0 for 2 today. Kona led off for the first time all season yesterday, went 1 for 5 with a double. Griffin peeks back at second and delivers. Quiggle swings and lines one into right. Coming in is Kumulos. It falls in front of him. Myers hustling around, sliding in safely. And the Otters cut the lead to 2. An RBI base hit for Quiggle. Myers hustles in from second to home for the second run of the inning.
Yeah, and another pitch elevated in the zone. Kona Quiggle does what the Otters have been doing tonight, keeps his hands high above that ball, just lets the velocity behind the pitch do the work. Otters cut that deficit down to 2 now, and Jeffrey Baez with a big opportunity to get the Otters back in this ball game.
Baez 1 for 2 today. Skinner at second, Quiggle at first. First pitch home to Baez inside 1-0. 2 across in the 5th, and the Otters have cut a 4-run lead to just 2. Chrisman's 70th pitch. Another breaking ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, 2-0, 2 looping breaking balls that have missed the zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see Baez take a really big cut here. He's likely going to get a nice pitch down the middle.
Chrisman fires on the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. Tying run at first and Quiggle. Baez is the go-ahead run. Already a hit today after what a day yesterday for Baez. 2 for 4, a home run and a triple. 2-1 is in the dirt, 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 count to Baez. Chrisman peeks back at second, at the belt, delivers. Popped up high in the air in foul territory. Viola racing over in front of the Thunderbolts dugout, makes the catch. The massive foul territory here at Bosse Field helping out the Thunderbolts, and Viola well used to it. A month playing here, a big second out in the 5th. 2 away, and Yomar Reyes, who's 2 for 2 today. A chance here for the Otters. 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. 5-3 lead for Windy City. Double in the 2nd, base hit in the 4th for Yomar. Chrisman peeks back at second and delivers home. On the inside corner for a strike. Oh, 1. Bounces low over Morgan's head and all the way back to the screen. Both Otters advance. Another pass ball. Skinner goes to third, Quiggle to second.
Another big opportunity presented to the Otters on a passed ball. We've seen it a handful of times in this series so far, and that'll put both runs that would tie the game in scoring position now. Jomar Reyes has been hot today.
Chrisman winds and fires inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. That's where that strike call was earlier, wasn't it?
Well, it's been a little bit of an inconsistent strike zone, and Reyes was frustrated by that earlier in this at-bat.
2-1. Fouled off the screen, 2-2.
Big cut there. Reyes certainly had intentions of tying the game, if not taking the lead with that swing.
Base hit could tie it with Quiggle at second and 2 outs. Reyes resetting his batting gloves and his wrap. Pitch clock resets as he now digs into the right-handed batter's box. Pitch home, fouled away.
We've seen a number of on the edge of your seat type at-bats in this game already, and this is certainly one of those.
2-2. Chopped off the end of the bat, and Reyes stays alive as it trickles down the third base line. Yomar has done just about everything this year at the plate for the Otters. 24-game on-base streak, 15-game hit streak, leads the Otters in batting average and hits. Already 2 hits today. Another 2-2, high for ball 3. Reyes has worked it full. There is an open bag at first. Dakota Phillips on deck. Runners will be going. A payoff pitch from Chrisman. He fires. Swing and a miss. Reyes strikes out on a breaking ball, and Chrisman gets out of the jam with the lead intact. Otters do get 2 in the 5th to cut the lead in half. It's now 5-3 Thunderbolts on the Otters Digital Network.
One final game before the All-Star break. That's tomorrow night, 5:05 first pitch time. The series finale between Windy City and Evansville.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Working Distributors Evansville. Another tight, interesting ball game between the Thunderbolts and the Otters. These two have combined to play a lot of good ball games on the 3rd series of 4 this season between Frontier League West foes. We enter the 6th inning, a 5-3 lead for Windy City over Evansville. The Otters will need their bullpen if they want to win today. James Crick was able to work a double play with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the 5th to get out of the inning without significant damage. And Crick will now pitch here into the 6th. Crick is kind of gotten familiar with this role, not necessarily bad starts by starters, but often coming in the 5th or the 6th inning and getting the Otters 2 innings of work before you get into that back half of the Otters bullpen.
Yeah, it certainly means he comes in some tough situations like we saw last inning, but that was the epitome of what we've seen out of James Crick, and makes a really good pitch to get a double play off the bat of Troy Viola.
Top of the order and Paul Kumalos. Lefty swings the first pitch, loops it into left. Back is Khalil to make a jogging catch. Good read by the shortstop. 1 away. For landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. Jake Boone, righty batter, to the plate with 1 out and nobody on. 5-3 Windy City leads. Crick fires. Boone takes a strike. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. If you have a project in mind, you can find them on Instagram and at wildspaces.com. 0-1 home, fouled off the screen, 0-2.
Happy 13th birthday to Bryant, who's here at the ballpark tonight. Happy 13th birthday.
As good as the Otters starters have been, the bullpen numbers even better for Evansville. Otters bullpen ERA leads the league, 2.58 ERA. They've allowed just 38 earned runs through the first 48 games of the season. Today, game number 49, is the Otters exactly at the halfway point of the year. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball up by Crick. 2 away.
And what a 3 pitches that was by James Crick to strike out Jake Boone. A nasty breaking ball with a 0-1 count and then just blows a fastball by him up in the zone. James Crick is dealing in his first 3 batters faced.
2 away, bases empty for Carson Matthews, who's 0 for 3 today. Matthews foul tips the first ball into the glove of Green. Both teams have 8 hits apiece, but really the big difference, the 3-run second inning for Windy City. They have a 5-3 lead. 0-1, the inside corner for a strike, 0-2. Lights are on, really into full effect at this point. Very dark gray clouds overhead, darkening with a non-existent sun setting to the west. Crick fires. Just outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think the main difference especially has been the last 2 innings, the Otters have left 2 runners in scoring position in both the 4th and the 5th, and certainly opportunities they'd like to have back.
1-2. Popped up into center field. Over to his right is Kona Quiggle to make the grab. What an inning by James Crick. Sends the Thunderbolts down in order for the first time today. Move to the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
Time for the dance cam, brought to you by Drake's. We need everybody to get up and dance because Drake's is your go-to for 24 beers on tap, big burgers, and the freshest sushi in all of Evansville. Visit Drake's at 1222 Richland Road or drakescomeplay.com. Now let's dance. And as we dance, let beautiful Bosse Field be the venue for your next celebration with one of our Grand Slam picnics, and you and your guests will receive an exclusive Otters Special Edition hat. If you'd like to be a part of an upcoming Evansville Otters home game, it's simple at EvansvilleOtters.com. Call the front office at 812-435-8686. Now let's dance with Drake's. First baseman number 7, Dakota Phillips.
Otters trail 5-3 as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning from Bosse Field. Dakota Phillips leads off against Garrett Chrisman. Chrisman comes home, a first pitch strike to Phillips. 80 pitches now for Chrisman, 5 innings of work, 3 earned runs allowed, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 8 hits. 0-1 from the righty ace, fouled off the foot of Phillips. He's down on a left knee in some pain as he fouled it off the inside of his left foot. Dak trying to limp it off. Looking down and now hitting his right foot on the ground, just trying to get that stinger out.
you mentioned the pitch count. A little bit of a increased spike in that last inning for Chrisman, but get his last 5 starts.
Pitch inside to Phillips, 1-2.
Coming into this game, 9 innings at Lake Erie, 8 innings against New Jersey, 8 2/3 at Ottawa, 7 against Joliet.
Remarkable as Phillips takes outside 2-2.
Finally, 8 2/3 against Florence. It's just been consistent long outings that he has provided Windy City.
2-2. Low and a full count. Let's go all the way back to June 6th, the last time that he didn't pitch into the 7th inning. But if the Otters can mount a lengthy 6 here, they might have a chance to face the Windy City bullpen in the 7th. Payoff, swing and a miss. 1 away.
I tell you, if you get another really lengthy start out of Garrett Chrisman, how his last few weeks have gone, I'm not sure you want him to pitch in the All-Star game. I'm sure he would love a week off.
That's a fair point. That certainly would be a factor in choosing, but also the starter in the All-Star game would only pitch at max 2 innings, likely just 1 inning. As Khalil lays down a bunt, it's a good one down the left field line, picked up by Chrisman, throw to first, not in time. George Khalil finds a way for his first hit of this series, a bunt base hit.
Yeah, the Australian had been struggling at the plate the last 2 days, like you said, but creative way to get on base, use his wheels to provide a base runner for the Otters here in the bottom of the 6th.
1 on and 1 out brings up Jake Green. Green doubled back in the 5th. Chrisman at the belt delivers. Green takes outside, 1-0. Otters with now 9 hits off Chrisman. That's the 2nd most hits he's allowed in any outing this year. He delivers home. Green swings and grounds one over the glove of the 3rd baseman Viola and rolling all the way into the Windy City bullpen. Green to 2nd. Khalil to 3rd. The Otters in business in the 6th. Nasty hop over Viola's glove, who tried to backhand it. And it bounced all the way off the side of the fence in the Windy City bullpen.
It was a brutal hop, but back-to-back innings, Jake Green has really hard hit balls. And here we are again, Otters' 3rd inning in a row where they've gotten multiple runners in scoring position. Can they get over that hump and tie this game up?
Scored 2 in the 5th. A great chance here in the 6th. Brian Rosario to the plate. Matt Morgan having a quick word with Chrisman. Green gave a big fist bump and swing of the arm as he reached 2nd. He's fired up for another double. Guy who plays with his heart on his sleeve. Khalil at 3rd, Green at 2nd. Rosario's 0 for 1 today, was hit back in the 3rd. Infield, corner infielders playing in for the Thunderbolts. First pitch to Rosie. Popped up into left field. Right at Robinson. He'll make the catch. Khalil will tag from 3rd, and Robinson will throw to 3rd base as Khalil scores and Green stays at 2nd. Otters cut the lead in half. It's down to 1 now, 5-4.
And the 2nd sac fly we've seen from an Otter today. Something mentioned how tough of a time the Otters have had coming back in ball games, and something they haven't always been able to do is slowly chip away at a lead, but we're seeing it here as cuts that deficit to just 1 now.
Green at 2nd. Myers the batter. He's 2 for 3 today. First pitch to the lefty. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1. Action in the Windy City bullpen. The lefty all-star Cal Jaraskovic warming. 0-1 outside. 1-1 count to Myers. 2 in the 5th for the Otters to cut the deficit from 4-2, and 1 more here in the 6th to cut the lead in half again to 1. Pitch home. Myers pops it up left side in foul territory and well out of play.
Saw 2 breaking balls to start off that at-bat and then a fastball up in the zone. The way Myers has hit off Chrisman today, I would have to doubt he's going to see another fastball in this at-bat.
Chrisman rocking back and forth on his toes, winds home. Myers rips one down the first base line, one off right into the glove of Yonamine. First baseman steps on the bag, side is retired. Evansville gets one more back in the 6th. Key double by Green. Rosario sac fly scores Khalil, but it's still Windy City in front through 6. 5-4 lead for the Thunderbolts on the Otters Digital Network.
Fans who wants a t-shirt. Only the loudest, the proudest, the craziest will get a free t-shirt. Courtesy of the Analyst and all the staff. Come on, fans. I can hear you make some noise. Even the louder, we still have t-shirts to be worn. Who wants a t-shirt? Let me hear ya. One more t-shirt, who wants it? Skip the line or bring for the company of your own home with self-service options at Heritage and our partner of Evansville Otters Baseball. We have Dale Crabtree, who's here at the ballpark tonight celebrating his 52nd birthday. Let's wish Dale a very happy birthday. Dale Crabtree turning 52 at the ballpark tonight. Happy birthday. Leading off for Windy City, designated hitter 15, Peyton Isaacson.
Six innings complete from the River City. Another great ball game tonight between the Thunderbolts and the Otters. 5-4 Windy City leads as James Crick out to work the top of the 7th. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Bud Light. First pitch to Peyton Isaacson, missed high and away. Crick on the right side of the rubber delivers. A strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Crick has retired the first 4 batters he's faced. Nicky righty from Michigan looking in, ball behind his back, beige glove on his hip, comes set at the belt. Pillar of stillness, now throws, swing and a miss, 1-2. Isaacson has not gotten out today. 2 hits, been hit, and scored twice. As he calls time to reset himself. Full darkness has fallen here in Evansville, and lights are on into full effect. Another long late night game for the Otters. 1-2, fouled away off the screen. Otters entering 4.5 games back of Gateway. Thunderbolts 11 back of the Grizzlies in a 4-way tie for 5th place in the Frontier League West. Otters alone in 3rd. Frontier League standings brought to you by Seal Corp. 1-2, popped up high in the air down the left field line. Reyes and Khalil racing over, and it bounces along the warning track. Khalil looked like he was up in Eugene this weekend for the U.S. Track and Field World Championships qualifying. He was on a 100-meter dash full-on sprint and almost got to that ball that eventually laid it on the warning track in the expansive territory. I might want to give him a look up in Eugene. I can see him represent, or actually, he'd run for Australia, so he couldn't go to Eugene. That was quite some speed by Khalil. 1-2 count to Isaacson. Crick throws inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You ever a sprinter back in your day?
I was really slow in high school. I kind of grew quickly and then was a little awkward on my feet, but I developed some speed in college.
2-2. He's ripped high in the air by Isaacson. Back is Baez. It's gone. Peyton Isaacson, his third hit of the day, is a home run to extend the lead back to 2.
I mean, once again, I was about to mention what an impressive series of pitches that had been from James Crick. Peyton Isaacson had 3 RBIs on 3 hits yesterday. And I mean, these pitches that he's hitting, they're not in the zone, Griffin. That ball was lifted up a little bit after he fouled a few off. The last base hit he had in the 5th inning was a little below the zone. Peyton Isaacson is putting on one of the more impressive performances we've seen at Bosse Field this year in these first 2 games.
His second homer of the season, just clearing the right field wall. Brent Spillane takes the first pitch low. Windy City dead last in hitting home runs this year in the Frontier League, just their 27th. But a good time for Isaacson to put a stop in the Otters rally. 1-0 to Spillane. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Crick had retired the first 4 batters, but a solo blast by Isaacson ends that run. 1-1 to Spillane. Popped up right side out of play.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Big Red's favorite.
Otters had scored 3 straight, cut a 4-run lead down to 1, but Windy City has now answered with their 3rd 1-run inning. One and 2 home, outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 9 hits for Windy City today and 6 runs. At their second extra base hit of the day, Kumulos had a double back in the 2nd. 2-2 to Spillane. Swing and a miss. 1 away. If you have a group of friends or co-workers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front desk to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. The Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch the game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. Micah Yonamine stands to the plate and takes a first pitch strike from Crick. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 7th, 6-4 Windy City. Pitch from Crick. Delivers. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Windy City has still won 8 of their last 13 games, playing some of their better baseball this season. They're hitting better, pitching continues to be strong, and they have brought the bats here to Evansville. 1-1, outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Especially you look at the scores by Windy City. First 2 series against the Otters, they scored a combined 12 runs in the first series, and then just managed 9 runs in the second series, but 6 runs today after 5 yesterday. 2-1, right down the middle, 2-2.
Yeah, the offense is just slowly getting more and more consistent for Windy City, a team that just couldn't hit the ball at the beginning of the season. And we've talked about that West Division here in the Frontier League. It's open, especially if a team like Windy City can carry some momentum into the All-Star break, keep that going through the end of July into August. They can contend for a playoff spot.
Crick on the right side of the rubber, 2-2. Popped up into left field. Back is Khalil, over is Myers on the run, making a jogging catch. 2 down. Brings up Dan Robinson, 2 outs and nobody on. Windy City leading 6-4 in the top of the 7th. Richie Sexton in his first year with the Thunderbolts, trying to give Windy City some success, and A lot of eyes on the Thunderbolts this year with hosting the All-Star game, of course, next week. Making a splashy hire in the offseason to hire a former MLB player as their manager, and had a really good last few weeks. Robinson takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. Sexton sounds like the life of the party, too. Just sounds like a great, fun guy to be around. Was told that at times it's gotten so hot he's taken his shirt off during batting practice before fans get in. As Robinson pops one up in foul territory down the third base line. Yomar Reyes is there to make the catch next to the third base bag. Solo blast by Isaacson. Crick gets the last 3 outs in order. Stretch time at Bosse Field. 6-4 lead for Windy City on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Call the bullpen. Windy City 30 Cal Droskovich in to pitch. The battery, Droskovich on the mound. Morgan behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. And the battery needs at 2319 North Greenville Rotary. 12475 9000. Telvin, same from the Otters, sent you. Leading off for the Evansville Otters. Second baseman, number 1, Ethan Skinder.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Bottom of the 7th inning, another tight ball game. 6-4 lead for the Thunderbolts over the Otters. And Windy City going to the bullpen. Cal Daraskovic, big lefty at 6'4", 225 out of Chicago on the mound here to try to start to get these last 9 outs for Windy City and tie up the series at a game apiece. Daraskovic, big kick and a throw to Ethan Skinder, who chops the first pitch on a high hop to Troy Viola, the third baseman, throws to first in time, and there's one away.
Center fielder, number 19, Kona Quayle.
Daraskovic has been a good reliever on the season for Windy City. 2.60 ERA and 17 1/3, making his 18th appearance of the season. 15 strikeouts, 214 walks, so some command issues in his second year in Crestwood with the Thunderbolts. Kona Quiggle, the lefty, takes the first pitch low in front of home plate, 1-0.
And I think the last thing the Otters wanted to see, still trying to battle their way back in this game, is a really strong lefty on the mound, and Daraskovic certainly is that.
1-0. Slider on the outside corner. Pretty pitch. 1-1 to Quiggle. Otters, though, have to certainly, regardless of what happens today, be happy with the way they performed against Garrett Chrisman. Top ERA entering the day in the Frontier League West. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2. Otters put 4 runs on 10 hits off him. Tied for the most hits he's allowed all year. Tied for the most earned runs he's allowed all year. That was against the Otters back in May here. And he only goes 6 innings for the first time since early June, does not make it into the 7th.
Yeah, and in terms of facing Chrisman, I think the Otters would consider that to be a success with how well he's performed lately.
1-2, swing and a miss. Nasty pitch from Daraskovic, 2 away.
I think the main thing, if you are Chrisman, though, is how well he limited the damage. Mentioned that Otters have out-hit Windy City here tonight, but I go back to 4th and 5th inning where the Otters just strand runners in scoring position, 2 of them in each of those innings, and Chrisman was able to limit the damage despite the Otters getting to him a bit.
First pitch to Jeffrey Baez, right. He takes a big hack and misses. Otters have stranded 6 on base today. 10 hits, but just 4 runs. Drashkovich below the belt, kicks the leg high in the air, and Baez swings and misses at another pitch up in the zone. Three straight innings, the Otters have put a runner in scoring position. 0-2. Popped up down the right field line. It's a fair ball, bouncing just inside the foul line and into the Otters bullpen. Baez to second with a double. What about the softly hit double possible on just a flare right over the head of Yonamine, and to the surprise of everyone, bounced just to the left of the right field foul line. And Baez in scoring position with 2 outs.
And Paul Koumelos had to work his way into a very busy Otters bullpen. There's about 8 guys standing up. And Jeffrey Baez is a base runner who will take an extra base. So credit to Paul Koumelos for working around a handful of obstacles down there.
And the ultimate compliment to the All-Star Yomar Reyes. They're going to intentionally walk him and put the force on, put a runner at first. That's an interesting choice because that puts the game-tying run at first base. But Reyes 2 hits today, puts him at first. And Dakota Phillips, also an All-Star, but 0 for 3 today.
You're right. It is interesting, Griffin, in that aspect. You put the go-ahead run at the plate, but a lefty-on-lefty matchup now with Phillips coming up.
Drashkovich home. Phillips swings and lost one into right field, down for a base hit. Baez held at third, and Reyes is off the bag at second. He slides back in safely without a throw. The bases are loaded now with 2 outs, and the intentional walk does not pay off for Windy City.
It doesn't, but Paul Koumelos able to get that ball in. Tough decision to make there for Andy McCauley at third base, who probably would have taken a really perfect throw to get Jeffrey Baez, who runs pretty well, out at home. And you bring up George Khalil in a huge situation here.
Khalil 1 for 3 today. Ready batter to face the lefty with the bases loaded. Drashkovich fires. Khalil takes high. Baez at third. Reyes at second. Phillips at first with 2 outs. The Otters trailing 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th. Drashkovich delivers. High 2-0. Tying run at second, and Reyes. Go ahead run at first, and Phillips. Two-0 home. High again for ball 3.
If you're Andy McCauley here, does George Khalil have the green light? That's 3 pitches elevated way out of the zone. You'd have to imagine Drashkovich is going to groove one down the middle. 3-0, 2 outs, bases loaded.
The 3-0. High for ball 4. He walks home a run and cuts the lead back down to 1. A 4-pitch walk to Khalil, and none of the pitches were close.
Yeah, they weren't. Drashkovich struggling to find his release point there in a really big at-bat.
Matt Morgan, a quick word with the big lefty. His command has been a problem this year. He walks home a run to cut the lead to 1, and it brings up Jake Green. And it also brings out the Windy City pitching coach, Jared Wright to have a word with Draskovic. Green is 2 for 3 today. Back-to-back doubles in the 5th and the 6th. He's up here again in the 7th with the bases loaded and 2 outs and the Otters trailing by 1.
Yeah, we've talked about how good of a matchup these two teams have been so far this year, Griffin, and both tonight and last night, some of the most energy and noise we've heard out of Bosse Field this year.
This is a big one with the Otters trying to win the second game of the series and have a chance for a sweep. Out comes Richie Sexton now trying to make the change, but you can't do that. You can't make 2 mountain visits in a row. It's not allowed.
Yeah, I think Thunderbolt staff tried to be strategic and allow the bullpen a handful of extra pitches, but like you said, Griffin, that is not allowed with the rule changes.
So Sexton disappointed and back to the dugout, and it means that Draskovic will have to face Jake Green here. We saw that was an issue earlier with Troy Riviere. They tried to do the same thing here at Bosse Field and couldn't. So Green will face Draskovic. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Otters trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch home. Low for ball 1.
And credit Matt Morgan behind home plate. Mentioned the number of wild pitches and pass balls we've seen. It's back-to-back innings. He's had some really good blocks with runners in scoring position.
Pitch home. Taking all the way for a strike, 1-1. Green was not lifting the bat off his shoulder until he saw a strike. One and one. Swung on and lofted past the glove of Viola into left field. Reyes will score. Phillips around. Home to take the lead for the Otters. Jake Green, his 3rd hit of the day, a 2 RBI double to give the Otters a 7-6 lead.
And what a special day it's been for Jake Green. Not an everyday player. 3 really hard hit balls and some clutch situations from him tonight.
Draskovic is done. 2 RBI, 2 out base hit for Jake Green. Phillips scores the go-ahead run, and things falling apart in a hurry for Windy City here in the bottom of the 7th. Evansville has scored 5 runs over the last 3 innings. They get 6 runs over the last 3 innings and have taken a 7-6 lead. Windy City making a change here with 2 outs. Still runners at 1st and 2nd. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
Pitcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Middle Road, or 812-475-9000. Tell them, Zane from the Otters sent you.
Back at Bosse Field, what a bottom of the 7th with 2 outs for the Otters. 5 straight batters reached. Double, intentional walk, base hit, another walk, and a 2 RBI go-ahead base hit by Jake Green to give the Otters a 7-6 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sebastian Selway, the new pitcher, into the ballgame for the Thunderbolts. He pitched an inning and 2/3 against the Otters yesterday. Allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 run. 4.91 ERA on the season for the righty. Faces the lefty Brian Rosario, who takes a first pitch strike. Khalil is at third as he advanced on the throw home. Green at first with 2 outs. 3 runs in the 7th for the Otters to take a 7-6 lead. A 1 from Selway. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Kevin Davis is warming in the Otters bullpen, which all of a sudden for the Otters is now a safe situation. Jake Polancic was used for 4 outs yesterday. Davis has been the setup man this year for the Otters. It's wild. The inning was almost over. It was Draskovic was rolling. He got the first 2 outs with ease, and Baez had a bloop base hit down the line to right, and things spiraled from there. 0-2. Rosario chops it off the end of the bat.
That's right, and you go back to that intentional walk to Yomar Reyes. You put Phillips in a tough spot, lefty on lefty, 2 outs. He delivered with a base hit, and Otters able to rally after that.
Oh, 2 to Rosie. He's grounded foul. Khalil at third and Green at first. How about the Otters offense again late in a ball game, just like yesterday? Evansville launched a big offensive attack over their last 3 innings of offense, scored a combined 6 runs. They've scored a combined 6 over the last 3 here in the 5th, 6th, and now 7th. 0-2. Just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Selway striding off the mound, only to look back at home plate in disappointment. One-two to Rosario is high. It bounces away from the catcher. Morgan coming home. Khalil, wild throw over the head of Khalil. He's safe, and it's 8-6 Otters. Pass ball by Matt Morgan, and the throw was to the left of the pitcher, Selway. Khalil, a head-first slide to add an insurance run for the Otters.
And the struggles continue throughout this series for Matt Morgan. That's a ball that should have really caught, just barely in and out of the zone. Another huge run that you kind of just hand to the Otters.
Green now at second, 2-2 count to Rosario. 4 runs in the 7th for Evansville. Selway delivers. Rosario fouls off the screen. The Otters were able to work up the pitch count of Chrisman. Couldn't get the big inning off him, but got 4 hits. Got into the Windy City bullpen, and they've taken advantage with 4 in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 count to Rosario. Selway comes home. Rosario fouls it away again. All 4 runs coming with 2 outs. Double, intentional walk, base hit, walk, base hit. Sometimes the innings that feel the smoothest can unravel the quickest. That's what's happened for the T-Bolts here in the bottom of the 7th. So he sides the shoulders, delivers. Rosario slaps one left side, charging in Matthews, gloves it, throw to first. Not in time. Green coming home. He is out at the plate. He tried to almost hop over Matt Morgan, but Morgan covering the plate, and Green tagged out to end the inning. Green trying to go all the way around from second to home. Yonamine throwing back home to end the inning after Rosario ran out the infield base hit down the line. The Otters, though, 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They've taken an 8-6 lead on the Otters Digital Network.
Ready, on your mark, get set, sumo! Red with the first win. Let's reset for round 2. Anything can happen. Fighters line up. On your mark.
Pest Control offers many options for monthly services starting at $40 a month or starting at $75 per quarter. You can find more. There are many offerings at tgpestcontrol.com. Call the bullpen Kevin Davis in to pitch. The battery Davis is on the mound. Green behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Lead off the catcher, 7, Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan will lead off the top of the 8th inning as the Otters lead 6-4. First pitch from Kevin Davis to Matt Morgan, missed inside for a ball, 1-0. 8-6 lead for the Otters here in the top of the 8th inning. Big 6'9" righty, Davis fires. Morgan takes the strike, 1-1. Davis has been maybe the best Otters reliever over the last month. 2.66 ERA, making his 20th appearance of the season. 28 strikeouts to just 13 walks and 20 1/3 for Davis. 1-1. Misses outside again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis did allow the game-winning run for Lake Erie on Thursday. That was his first run allowed since May. 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, the 6'9" flamethrower has been all reliable for the Otters in June, and he's got a big situation and opportunity here.
Davis comes home, swing and a miss, 3-2. Was reaching 96 miles per hour on Thursday at Lake Erie. Certainly the arm in midseason form. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Morgan can't catch up. 1 away.
Davis got behind in the count in that series of pitches, but just bears down and blows a few fastballs by Morgan. Huge first out here in the 8th.
We'll bring up Troy Viola, the shortstop. 1 for 3 today for the former Otter. 1 out and nobody on in the top of the 8th. 4 in the bottom of the 7th for Evansville to take an 8-6 lead. Viola fouls the first pitch off the screen. The Otters, if they hold on, it'd be their biggest comeback of the season, as they trailed today by as many as 3 runs, as many as 4 runs, in fact, when they entered the bottom of the 5th. Pitch home. Viola takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. The Otters also win. It'd be their first win when trailing in the 7th inning or later, as they trailed by 2 entering the bottom of the 7th. Davis on the right side of the rubber. Big kick and a throw. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Broken bat, soft grounder, charging is Reyes on the edge of the grass. Throw to first in time. It's Phillips with an impressive stretch at first for the 2nd out of the inning. Broken bat brought to you by New House Lumber. You can go get your new lumber at New House Lumber. 2 away, bases empty, back to the top of the order, and Paul Kumalos, the right fielder. Otters 4 outs away from a spirited come-from-behind victory tonight. Swing and a miss from the lefty, 0-1. High blue stockings for Davis. White pants pull just below the knees. Sets at the chest and delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
There's just a sense of determination you see in the posture and the eyes of Kevin Davis each time he stepped on the mound this inning.
Oh, and 2 count. Kick and a throw. Fouled off the screen. Kumalos just got a piece of it. 1 in the 2nd for the Otters. They played 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 4 in the 7th to take the lead. 0-2. Fouled away again.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best.
Someone out
you
past
never regret.
left field just found out that they had fireworks left over from the 4th of July, and they're using them all up now. The probably background to the eye of Koumelos. 0-2. Fouled off the screen again. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss. Koumelos strikes out. Davis sends down the Thunderbolts in order to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-6 Otters lead on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters fans, we are ready to see some legends race with the AGISNT Legend Zip. We have Benjamin Bosse, William Henry Harrison, and FJ Wright racing in honor of a row our Otter Bells have picked out. And if that legend wins, that row is walking away our winner as well. Legends, on your mark, get set, go!
Now dedicating this race to Mayray, our ODN operator, working her final game this season.
A strong showing from William Henry Harrison. I think getting some high fives in there. Uh-oh. Is Bosse gonna do it? Oh! What do we think? Benjamin Bosse or...
I thought it was William Henry Harrison from up here.
I think it was too. William Henry Harrison, our winner with the AGISNT Legend Zip. So close, Bosse, so close.
Wright's a close third, a very close third.
Bottom of the 8th inning from Bosse Field. The Otters 3 outs away from winning the series and winning their first 2 games of any series since May. 4 runs in the 7th for Evansville to take an 8-6 lead on a wild night here from the River City. New pitcher into the ball game for the Thunderbolts. It's Austin Morozis, the righty, 14th appearance on the season. 14 2/3 innings pitched, 5.52 ERA, 12 strikeouts, but 10 walks for Morozis. Righty pitcher to face the top of the lineup in Noah Myers for the Otters. Evansville scored in 3 straight innings, a combined 7 runs over 3 innings to take the lead. Morozis fires home to Myers, who takes it outside 1-0. One to Myers, swing and a miss, 1-1. Had a thrilling Bosse Field Legends of Evansville race brought to you by AZA Pizza, as Benjamin Bosse almost won his first race since May 21st. Almost broke the longest losing streak of the year, or longest winless streak for any of the 3 racers, as Myers takes a strike at the knees, 1-2. William Henry Harrison got such a big lead, high-fiving Otters in the dugout, and Bosse out of nowhere, almost a tortoise in the hare situation, nearly beat Harrison at the buzzer, but Harrison won by a nose as Myers takes outside 2-2. It ends, though, the 6-game race winning streak for Wrights. Harrison now 13 wins on the season, Wrights 10, Bosse 4. That's your Bosse Field Legends of Evansville update brought to you by AZIP, as Myers takes low and a full count. 8-6 lead for the Otters in the bottom of the 8th. Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, is now warming in the bullpen. 2-3-4 coming up for Windy City in the 9th. Payoff popped up by Myers into center field. Back is Spillane to make the grab a few steps shy of the track. 1 away. Hey, Evansville Otters fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. One out, bases empty, bottom of the 8th. Otters lead by 2. Ethan Skinder, the batter, takes one low for a ball. Skinder, after 2 home runs yesterday, 1 for 4 today with the base hit in the 5th. One 0 from Morozis, fouled away off the top of the roof. Of course, this is the final game going on across the Frontier League tonight. Per league rules, it seems, at this point.
Yeah, when is it not?
The Otters must play the last game of the day. This was the latest starting game. And it's been a long one as we're past 9 o'clock local time. The 1-1. Skinder pops up right side in foul territory. Yonamine, first baseman, giving chase, but it's off the roof. So lots of finals to report. Great news if you're an Otters fan. The 2 teams in front of them in the standings, Schaumburg and Gateway, hadn't lost all week. Both of them lose tonight in tight games. Lake Erie wins at Wintrust Field, 2-1 win on the road for the Crushers over the Boomers. And Joliet snaps the winning streak for Gateway, 3-2 victory for the Slammers over the Grizzlies. 1-2 at the knees for strike 3. Skinder left looking, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Brings up Conequigo with 2 outs and nobody on. Joliet with the win ends their 6-game losing streak, while Gateway's 5-game win streak snapped. So the Otters with the win tonight would move 3.5 back of Gateway and 2.5 games back of Schaumburg. 3rd place in the Frontier League West. Conequigo takes the first pitch high and tight. 2-run lead for the Otters in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on. Florence has lost again. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Yells beat up tonight, 16-2 loss to New York. Florence has lost 10 games in a row. 21-29 now for the Yalls. A month ago, they were ahead of the Otters in the standings. 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday, the Yalls just crept up on everyone, found their way into 2nd place in the West Division, and everything's just gone south ever since.
A pitching staff that just lost all ability to get outs. 2-1, Quiggle lost into left field. Coming in, Robinson, he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the 9th. Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, looking for his 6th save of the season, coming into the ball game. Otters need 3 more outs for a series win on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters fans, it's now time for Indiana 811's Holy Moly Shuffle. Let's see if you can find where Holy Moly got himself tonight. Keep an eye on him. Right out there on our video board. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. Number 1 is our winner. Thank you for playing the Holy Moly Shuffle, brought to you by Indiana 811, a free service that can prevent costly damages to underground utilities. Know what's below. Call 811 or visit 811now.com. At least 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or small.
We have a call to the bullpen. Jake Polancic in to pitch. The battery Polancic on the mound. Green behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Christopher Road, or 812.
The Otters 3 outs away from a series victory over Windy City. A come from behind Saturday night for Evansville. They lead 8-6 in the top of the 8th inning. Jake Polancic into the ball game for the Otters. 6 saves on the season for Evansville's closer. 13 appearances, 1.84 ERA and 14 2/3, 22 strikeouts to just 6 walks. Polancic earned a 4-out save last night and was excellent. 3 strikeouts and did not allow a base runner. 6 saves on the year, 6 for 8 in save opportunities. Jake Boone, 2-3-4, heart of the lineup for Windy City here in the top of the 9th, due up. Boone righty batter, 1 for 4 today. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. Polancic fires, swing and a miss. 0-1. Polancic on the right side of the rubber, arm dangling, now comes set with the black glove. Sides the shoulders and delivers. Outside, 1-1. They started playing Enter Sandman, which of course Trevor Hoffman, one of the greatest closers of all time with the Padres, was known to legendary enter with, but that is not Polancic's warm-up song. They then changed it. 1-1 is hammered into left field. Myers over and makes the grab. Hard hit ball by Boone. He barreled it up, but only a few steps to the right of Noah Myers. One away.
Shortstop 19, Carson Matthews.
As great as Enter Sandman is his song, Jake Polancic is such a mellow, calm kind of closer. Doesn't fit his vibe as much. His warm-up song is much more mellow. He's looking for a stress-free save. Carson Matthews swings at the first pitch and pops it up foul. Windy City, 9 hits and 6 runs today after plating 5 runs and 10 hits yesterday. They've been great offensively, but it might not be enough for even a win. 0-1. Popped up by Matthews. On the edge of the left field grass is Khalil. Still cycling backwards and makes the catch. 2 away.
And talk about slamming the door shut. Last night, in his 4-out save, Polancic struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced. Gets 2 pretty routine pop-ups, and Windy City's down to their last out in a game that I certainly don't think they ever thought would slip out of their hands.
Peyton Isaacson hasn't gotten out today. 3 for 3 as the first pitch is low to the lefty. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 9th, the Otters an out away as they lead 8-6. Isaacson solo home run his last time up in the 7th. That's the last run Windy City scored. 1-0 from the closer. Popped up, high in the air on the infield. Khalil looking up, under the baseball, makes the grab. The Otters win. They win the series, their biggest come-from-behind victory of the year. As much as Evansville has been so good for much of the 2023 season, they have failed to come back from any big deficit in any late time in a game so far this season. That ends tonight. A new look Otters coming from 4 runs down, trailing in the 6th inning by 4 and the 7th inning by 2. But the Otters offense jumps on Windy City late. 7 runs from the 5th to the 7th inning, including a 4-run 7th, all with 2 outs. And Evansville secures the series win over Windy City with a chance to sweep tomorrow, an 8-6 victory.
Yeah, and you saw some of the celebrations after that last out were bigger than ones we've seen throughout this year for the Otters. You can tell how much that win meant to this Otters squad. We've talked about the struggles to come from behind, and Otters just chipped away at that lead, scored in both 5th, 6th, and even the 7th inning, and chipping away and just slowly fighting your way back into the game. It's been somewhat of an elusive concept for this Otters team throughout the year, which is surprising given how good the bullpen is. They're always going to give you an opportunity to hang around and stay in a ball game, and this was a win that just meant a whole lot to this Otters squad, and the offense stays consistent up and down the order. Some really good signs for Andy McCulley going into the All-Star break.
Otters were 0-14 entering today when trailing after the 6th inning. Only 5 times that they won a game when trailing at any point, and their first time winning, coming from behind to win by a deficit of more than 2. And the offense, I mean, you just got to love it the last 2 days for the Otters. A dreadful series at Lake Erie where Evansville couldn't do anything offensively. They go 15 hits yesterday, 14 hits today, combined 17 runs over the last 2 games. All of a sudden, the Otters offense at its best, explosive, consistent, not going down easy, working walks, hit pitches, doubles have been a trademark of the Otters all season. And top to bottom, everyone's hitting right now. The Otters got a base hit from all 9 batters today.
Yeah, and last night they got hits from 8 out of their 9 batters. Everyone found a way on base. You think, for example, George Khalil was having a tough go at it at the plate, has that bunt for a base hit. I mean, everyone's finding a way to contribute, and it's a great way to raise morale coming off a really tough series at Lake Erie. And you know you're going to have just under a week off after tomorrow evening's game, so really good response from this Otters squad, and they'll go for the sweep tomorrow.
Otters have a great chance to go in with some, arguably the most momentum they've had in over a month into the All-Star break. Tomorrow night will be the first time the Otters have a sweep opportunity since May. Again, the Otters had not won the first 2 games of a series since at New Jersey in late May, right before Memorial Day. So a big chance for a sweep tomorrow for the Otters, and they make up some ground in the standings as well, with Gateway and Schaumburg losing. The Otters now 3.5 games back of first place in the Frontier League West, sitting in third behind Schaumburg and Gateway. Otters improved to 28 and 21. Windy City falls to 21 and 29. Final totals: Otters 8 hits, 8 runs on 14 hits, no errors. Windy City 6 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Jake Polancic earns his 7th save of the season. James Crick is tabbed with the win. He went 2 into 3rd innings. The Otters got tied for the most hits and runs off Garrett Krishman this year, and Cal Draskovic took the loss, allowing 3 runs for Windy City. For our entire excellent production team today, it was one of our camera operators, May Ray's last game, so big thanks to May Ray for all her help all season long. Our director, John Smith, my partner, Lucas Daunhauer. I'm Griffin Epstein as the Otters come from behind for an 8-6 victory over Windy City tonight. We'll be back at 5:05, first pitch tomorrow, and on the air shortly at 5. We hope you join us then. But for now, so long from Evansville. The Otters